negotiating deals.
Buying me some shit, I'm stunting in this bitch, everything legit.
I want me a meal to see just how we
Rebels, ha ha, everything legit with Wise and Pitt. You know it's real if they said it.
You are now listening to Rebels Radio with Wise and Pitt.
Yes, sir, my boy.
Yeah.
Welcome back, man, to another episode, my boy. Everything's Legit podcast, man. Coming to you live from Rebels Radio. It's your boy
Rebels.
Wise checking in.
With your boy Pitt. It's everything's legit. Let's go.
Come on, man. You know how he gets down, my boy.
Yeah.
Back up in this thing, bro. How you feeling? How's
I already
everything?
know. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooling, you know. Everything is everything. Life is happening.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
what they do. So,
Yeah.
you know, we here, man. How you doing?
Hey, bro. Like you said, bro, life is happening. We here. So we fortunate enough to be here as life has been happening. So we gonna do what it do, man. Bring that entertainment and that fun to the culture. A lot has been taking place since the last time we linked up. So we got some.
Oh yeah.
We got some stuff to get into, man. We got some around the world stuff. We got some at home stuff, music, culture, everything going on, man. Where you want to start at, bro? Where you want to tap in first?
Hey man, I think where we left off at last time was I think we talked a lot about the Drink Champs interview with Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
And since then we've seen that snowball into a lot of other stuff. So I think we'll go ahead and get it started right there. First of all, Soulja Boy's response to Kanye not having him on the album. Now, most of us saw that response. Of course, in typical Soulja Boy fashion, he went off. I like the way when Soulja Boy get mad and he starts spazzing out. He sound like he's so upset that he don't know how to talk no more. Like he just go off. Like he just be going off, hands be moving everywhere. He can't focus on the camera that he looking at. He be acting like he got 3, 4, 5 cameras around him. Like, bro, it's just you and the phone, dog. Just, you know what I'm saying? But it's always entertainment. But one thing he did say is that, you know what I'm saying, why would you go on a platform like that and basically say that my verse was garbage? You know what I'm saying? Well, you could have just
Call me, text me.
Yeah, you could have just told me that. But
And that was after Kanye told him he was one of the most influential artists ever.
Yeah. Yes. But in the interview, that's what Kanye said. Kanye first, he starts off by saying, Soulja Boy is one of the most influential artists of our time. And then he said, I'm not going to debate with y'all.
Yeah.
And then that's when Nori asked him about the verse. He was like, you didn't hear that verse? He was like, no. Yeah, so
wild boy.
Yeah, and Kanye was really comical that whole interview, and that was actually one of the funniest parts of when he was like, Nori was like, so the verse wasn't good. It was like, no, but I tell you what, and he just moved past it like. But I just want to know how you felt about first of all the Soulja Boy response.
Man,
to
Soulja is, first of all, Draco is that dude. Hey, when we talk about artists that know how to keep their career relevant, artists that know how to play the game, artists that are around for the long haul, like, you have to mention Soulja Boy in that conversation. Soulja Boy ushered in the ringtone era and has been relevant ever since. And even though a lot of people try to hate on his music, try to hate on him, like, as much as you try to not like him, it's something about him that keeps him around. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you mentioned how when when he was responding to it and he was acting, the way he was acting, that's part of why people like Soulja Boy, right? Because it's like half the time you could tell, like, all right, this dude trolling. Like, you could tell he trolling. But in the other half, you like, yeah, he trolling, but what he's saying is like it's almost like, is he wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what it is. And so you listen to him, like, even when he when he jumped on the Breakfast Club and he was talking about it, and somebody, I can't who I think it was Angela Yee, was like, yeah, but didn't Kanye apologize? And then right away, Soulja Boy calmed down. He was like, yeah, we cool now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like that's all. Like, I know it was a tweet. It was a tweet he sent out, but it was like one of those things where it's like he said that all I wanted was an apology. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as soon as he got it, he was cool. But to me, Kanye and Soulja Boy the same type of dude. They're the same person, bro. Like, they say and do whatever to get attention, and then deal with the consequences after. Like, that's just what they are. But I feel like Kanye, the whole interview was just like, for instance, that interview, half of it was trolling, half of it was Kanye telling his truth, but Kanye being the type of person that he is, like, you can even look at it like he was promoting these artists, you know what I'm saying? Because the moment that Kanye mentions somebody's name, the attention is going to be brought on to them. He mentioned Talib's name. Talib, attention goes up. Big Sean, attention goes up. Soulja Boy, attention goes up. Like, so you gotta account for all that too. But I think, it was funny, and they're both entertaining, and that's what we get out of it. It's entertainment to me.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right in the sense that when you say that when Kanye mentions their name, their attention goes up, and now you're expecting the response from everybody that he mentioned. Of course, there's some people that you're not going to get a response from,
Right.
but other people, yeah, you know what I'm saying. One of the other artists that Kanye mentioned was Big Sean, like you said, when he said that the worst thing he ever did in his career was sign Big Sean. Initially, when the interview first dropped, we saw Sean tweeting, "Oh, can't wait to
Get on Drink Champs.
Get on Drink Champs."
And this is after Drink Champs had already went to him first, and he did not. He turned him down.
Yeah. So then we see this week, just past few days ago, Sean has a interview $1 million worth of game.
Even that part itself was a little strange, because you come out and say, I'm jumping on Drink Champs, but then you turn around and jump on $1 million worth of game.
I think the initial shock wore off when it comes to Sean. I think the initial shock wore off, and he looked at it as just what you said. He looked at it as, oh, well, people are looking at me now.
Promo.
I'm getting more attention now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's promo, and I just dropped this EP. You know what I'm saying? So he went on $1 million worth of game with Hit Boy, the hottest producer
in the game. Yeah.
In the game for the last couple of years. So I think once the initial shock wore off, then he was like, oh, this is actually not bad. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I think Kanye is smart, because even though to us it was like, yo, what is he doing? But it make you think about Big Sean.
Yeah. And like, you know what I'm saying? And I think even Big Sean thought about that. And the way Big Sean was acting in that interview, I kind of feel like him and Kanye had a conversation, and it ain't really that major. Yeah, it ain't really that major, even though for a person who signed you to your first deal to say that the worst thing they ever did was sign you is pretty, it's pretty steep. For me, that'd be a hard pill to swallow. But I just feel like when they boiled down to it, Sean weighed the pros and the cons, and probably I'm not gonna say he might throw a jab on the album, some subtle, but I don't think it's ever gonna be something serious.
Did that album already come out?
No, he dropped EP, but that EP. If you listen to that EP, it sounds like leftovers from Detroit 2, like some other stuff that him and Hit Boy did that didn't make the album, but wasn't worthy of being on the next album. So they just we're gonna throw these stragglers out there.
Yeah. Look, man. I just think it was weird that he went on $1 million worth of game. It's cool that he did, but like you said, he's seen the attention that was coming, and he kind of pivoted and embraced it. Because I think it was strategic that even Hit Boy was sitting up there with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't go there by himself. He went up there with Hit Boy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the main purpose of that was to promote the album. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he took the opportunity. Hey, the attention's on me. Let me use it to promote what I got going on. Yeah. Also, too, like I think it was a smart move because it's like at this point, if you get into a back and forth with Kanye, unless your name is Drake, really, it ain't gonna really end up good for you because just the effect that Kanye is having right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to me. He touched on Big Sean. He touched on John Legend. I didn't hear John Legend give a response or nothing like that.
I don't think John Legend is going to. You're not going to get that from John Legend.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
and if you do, you'll get a joke on like a late night talk show, like Jimmy Fallon or something. He'll probably throw a joke out there, but it ain't gonna be nothing serious.
Yeah. And too, like you mentioned, it looked like it felt like Sean and Ye probably had a conversation, but even remember, like the day after the interview, they start dropping the pics of Ye and Sean was together like the day before. You know what I'm saying? And they was like in the room huddled up together, and it looked like everything.
And Sean said
everything was kind of cool.
I just seen him the other day, and that was after he recorded the interview, and he didn't mention nothing.
No smoke.
but the crazy thing is, even Ye in the interview when they was talking about who they was talking about, was they talking about Talib? He was like, "Oh yeah, I did just see that nigga."
He said, "I'm about to fight him now." Yeah. He was talking about Talib, yeah.
So it's like, Ye.
That's what made me think about. That's what made me think that part of this is trolling, because even with that part right there, when he mentioned that part, it was like his mind was on troll, and then somebody had to remind him, "Dude, you was just with him," and he snapped out of it. He was like, "Oh wait, yeah, I was just with him." Like it was like one of those moments, like, wait, I gotta redo this now because I was with him. Like,
yeah, it's wild though, but obviously, different days, different yays. That's what you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And of course, the biggest name that he mentioned, one of the main reasons the interview is even one of the hottest interviews out, is the beef between him and Aubrey, him and Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And we see, kind of what has transpired ever since.
Hey, it's been a while. Did we say it's about to be a wild week for Ye?
Listen, man.
It was a wild week for Ye. I've seen some of the most uncomfortable, cringeworthy things I've probably ever seen in and this magnitude of hip hop.
Nah, you're right. From from Ye meeting Jay Prince in a church, right, to reciting a written statement, standing next to Prince, looking like he got finished getting some straightening. And
that interview, when that statement that he was reading off the phone and standing next to Jay Prince it looked like he was in a comply or die situation. Like, listen, bro,
this what you gonna do?
Yeah, we're not really asking you anything. This is what you gonna do.
Yeah, and it felt like the church was a was a way to get him there. Hey, let's go meet at the church. And he got in the church. And once they got in there, it was like, all right, look, this is what we're gonna do. and even that video, bro, like initially when we look at it, everybody laughing, everybody got comments. Because we see Kanye and we see the way he's standing, we see his mannerisms. He ain't got no mask on, he ain't got no gloves on. He reading a statement, he reading it word for word impeccably, like he ain't missing a beat, he ain't missing no punctuations, nothing. But if you look at the way he's standing, like he kind of standing like he don't want to be too close. And then if you look at Jay, to me the funniest part is Jay Prince's face. Because if you look at Jay Prince, he almost is reciting. As Kanye's talking, he is like literally mouthing what Kanye is saying. and then Kanye gets done and he's doing this subtle like head shake like, yeah, like we about to fix this.
yeah.
And it just but to me, I don't know if it's appropriate, but I feel like if there is a such thing as a winner and a loser in this arm of the beef, I feel like Drake won. Because the interview drops and Drake goes quiet. Like the interview drops and he kind of just like disappeared. And the muscle came up, like Prince, Hoover, like they popped up. Like, okay, now this is going far enough. Now now it's time for us to protect our investment. We gonna get this situated. Kanye had to go meet with Jay Prince. Kanye had to read the written statement. Kanye had to be the first to say, "Hey, me and Drake coming together for a show for this cause." Kanye had to make his way to Toronto. They met at Drake's house, on Drake's backyard, on Drake's time, on Drake's turf. And it just felt like everything maneuvered around, okay, now that Drake is comfortable, let's make this happen. And so to me, I just feel like Drake has the upper hand in whatever this is that we are seeing. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this. Like we've seen this already. Like even the Pusha T situation. Pusha started getting too personal. Jay Prince showed up like,
I gotta protect my investment. I am protecting my investment.
You gonna stop? It's time to stop now. You know what I'm saying? And some people might look at that as like, oh, Drake got to go call his big brother all the time, like the kid they got to. Hey, but sometimes that's what the big brother's for. That's what those reinforcements are for. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, if you ain't got no big brother, that's your business.
You don't know what that. You don't know what that's like.
You know what I'm saying? That's a personal issue.
Yeah, you don't know what that's like, for sure.
It is what it is, man. Like you said, because Drake being the investment for Jay Prince, which I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, we wouldn't know Drake if there was no Jay Prince.
Yeah. You know, and the funny thing is, like, a lot of people are like, I'm seeing the narrative that, hey, Prince ain't this, Prince ain't that. But it's like, yo, we're watching it. Like, okay, it's cool if you don't want to believe, if you think it's a myth, but we're watching it. Like, we're seeing the evidence of whatever influence. Jay Prince might not be the boogeyman anymore. You know what I'm saying? He might not be in the streets causing terror. But he's now in business. And he's now on this side. And he's taking those same principles, that same energy, that same mannerism, bringing it over to this side. And whatever influence he's having is clearly working somehow. Because the very things that individuals say they weren't going to do, they're doing. Pusha T said he wasn't going to let up. He stopped. You know, we didn't think that Drake and Kanye would get together this quickly. It literally stopped. Like, he dropped an interview and it was like, all right, this is enough. We're done with this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got to just respect the movements. It takes a lot. Like, people think it's just a phone call and something's going. It takes a lot for artists like Drake or artists like Kanye to be moved the way Kanye was moved. Like, Kanye was literally moved off of his square, off of everything that one day he was like you said, Kanye one day, Kanye the next day. You don't know what you're gonna get. And it's like he was standing on his soapbox, and here come Prince, here come Hoover. They doing whatever they gotta do behind the scenes. And next thing you know, we got this kumbaya moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't deny just whatever it is going on. It made me think though, what you think Pusha T is thinking about what's going on?
I'm always gonna look at Pusha T as like the bitter artist, like the guy who's just he doesn't like to see people bigger than him, and so to see kind of Kanye being beat into submission, you know what I'm saying, figuratively, and having to fold and bend to meet Drake at every point because Jay Prince says so. I'm sure that eats him up. I'm sure that that bothers him a lot, especially since Prince is also the one who kind of ruined his moment to continue his what he probably felt was going to be ending Drake's run. So I feel like he probably does feel away, but at the end of the day, ain't nothing you can do about that. Like, it is what it is. You certain machines, you run up against them and you just back down.
What you think he feels about Kanye though? Like, because the beef between Pusha and Drake was really the result of Drake and Kanye. Like, it was Pusha coming to defense of Kanye. Like, he's my man. We on good music together. It's our label. I'm in this with you. So that type of loyalty, he had that energy for Kanye, and then it's like we get the footage last night. Kanye and Drake both drunk, both geeked up. Drake got Kanye in a little bro headlock, and they sitting around having a good time watching the Dave Chappelle show. And just a couple, about a year ago, you had the whole label going at war for this man. And now it's just kind of like, all right, well, it's over. We're cool. But there's still like little things going on around him. Like, how do you think he feels about that?
Like I said, when it comes to Pusha, he's always gonna feel away because Pusha's beef. Pusha was waiting. Like I said, he was waiting for that moment. He knew about the Drake and Kanye, but also remember, Pusha still had his issues with Cash Money, and he know that Drake gonna do anything for Wayne.
Yeah.
And so Pusha always wanted to get at Wayne and Birdman, and then he saw Drake as that weakness. Oh, you know what I'm saying? This the soft one. I'm gonna get him. And so now to see this happen, he like, dang. Now it's like, I mean, now he chilling with Kanye. He can't even be like, yeah, I still don't like that nigga. Because guess what?
You gonna look bitter.
Yeah, and then Kanye gonna be like, just chill, chill, bro. Like,
ain't even on that no more.
Yeah, we passed that. Even if we not past that, we passed that. So that's something he gonna have to deal with, or he gonna have to live with. But I just wish he wasn't so bitter. I wish he would just make music. Why you always gotta get angry before you decide to make music? I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah. Man, the whole thing is interesting. It's unfolding right in front of us. I think Kanye, in the statement that he read, December 7th or 8th is the show supposed to be.
Yeah, something like that.
So that's coming up, in a couple of weeks. ain't no telling what's gonna come about of that. Ain't no telling what type of energy they gonna come in with that, and the type of surprises, because we already know what they're doing it for. The guys is that they are doing it for Hoover, but we know that a lot of it is just labels, investors, street dudes protecting their investment. Hey, whatever y'all got going on, dead this now. Like it ain't even like now we gonna start losing money. Like now it don't even make sense to be doing this. Y'all bigger together. I just hope that they are good enough in a good space enough. They're aware enough that we get some good music out of it. That's really what that's really what my mind is. My mind is December 7th, December 8th, whenever that show is, at midnight, we getting a 4-pack, 2-pack Kanye Drake. Like that's my hope. That's my hope. Especially after the pictures that's been floating around. Listen, Drake literally had Kanye in a little bro headlock, and they was laughing and kikiing together. So the energy was good. The vibrations was flowing. Dave Chappelle was on stage, drunk and high, geeked up. Like it looked like it was a dope moment. So hopefully they capitalized on that energy. That's what I'm hoping.
I thought about that earlier. That would be nice. Maybe if we could get a 2-pack like how when Toronto won the championship and Drake dropped Omerta and Money in the Grave.
Yep.
So that would be dope. But when I initially thought about it, my mind said, might get a DJ Khaled track. One of those where it's like, what I'm saying, we can finally get back to making music together, everybody, because when artists that big have beefs, then you start to see, loyalties go certain ways, and certain people that you don't really think about it initially, you be like, dang, I ain't heard a track from them two in a minute. Like, what I'm saying? You'd be like, oh. The casual fan is gonna be like, it's nothing. But then you start thinking about all the affiliations and all the different loyalties to who's, and what I'm saying? And it just starts to make sense, what I'm saying? Because for the longest, when was the last time we heard a Kanye on a Khaled project? Or
you think all that has to do with the Drake thing?
I think all of it stems from somewhere, but I think also a lot of it may just be ego. You know what I'm saying? But even with like, we used to love to hear a track if we could hear Kanye and Wayne on the same track, which we have heard a few times, mostly on Khaled projects, but we have heard that a few times. But you know what I'm saying, you already knew what you was gonna get.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like it'd be good for the culture. But I also feel like deep down, Drake wants to make music with Kanye. Because I think that they both know that something will be unlocked in the both of them together that they haven't unlocked with anybody else. I feel like Drake will push Kanye sonically and creatively. Kanye will push Drake. One of the knocks that we have on Drake is, or that people have on Drake is, a lot of his albums are the same. Like it's the same formula. You get with a producer, superstar, genius, musical genius like Kanye, with the talent of a Drake, that's a perfect album and on paper, because we've seen super teams come together and it not work. But I don't know, it's gonna be dope to see. It's interesting that this is all going on right now to end the year. Hopefully we just get some dope music out of this, man. We get some what we need out of this, because this is what it is about. It's about the culture. It's about just advancing the culture, being in front of the culture, being a positive influence. So shout out to Jay Prince. Shout out to Drake, Kanye, getting together. And Dave Chappelle, once again, right in the middle of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like right dead in the middle of the culture. He's being protected because everybody on the outside of hip hop is trying to cancel him. And it just feels like hip hop is putting their arms around him, embracing him, letting him know, yo, we got you. And that's what it feels like. It feels like everybody is just doing their part to make sure that Dave Chappelle stays, like one of my favorite sayings is, gotta protect this man at all costs. And it just feels like hip hop is doing exactly that when it comes to Dave Chappelle, man. So that's another good look too, because just seeing him in that element, seeing his face, the enjoyment that he got, the enjoyment that he knew that the moment that he was a part of was bigger than him. Like, even hearing his little 30-second speech, he knew that, yo, I'm Dave Chappelle. But what's happening right now, Kanye and Drake are in the same room. They had this issue. They getting ready to squash it. I'm here witnessing it. Yo, this is bigger than me. And for somebody of Dave Chappelle's influence and stature to be that aware, man, that's super dope, dog. Like, it's just dope to see in the field and be a part of hip hop, man, because that dude is special, man. He's a voice for us, and we just gotta protect him, man. So it was dope to see him being a part of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, with everything that's happening outside of hip hop has to, kind of take everyone as its own, because hip hop isn't just the music. Hip hop is the culture.
Yeah.
So hip hop has to take those that kind of belong to it, and up under his wing, and you know what I'm saying. No matter what happened outside, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't cancel you if your whole community is still rocking with you. They can try to do whatever they want to do, but honestly, at this point, we've learned how to come to a place where, all right, y'all gonna try to cancel this person. All you really doing is drawing more attention so that the community can grow stronger for that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you continuously talking about this person that belongs to us is counterproductive for your cause.
Yeah.
It's like just free promo at this point. You want to keep talking about them?
Yeah.
Cool. More people gonna keep going to see why you talking about them.
Yeah. I feel like that's what Netflix is doing too, though. I feel like they know that, any publicity is good publicity. And even though people are screaming, yo, cancel, 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 the same ones that are screaming that, they're going to run to Netflix just to see why to cancel him. Why are they talking about him? So regardless of why you clicking on it. And them views count the same regardless of why you
My favorite thing to hear when somebody's like trying to cancel an artist or try to cancel somebody is like, if you're going through a TikTok video and they be like, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah.
And then find out why I'm so mad. Yeah. Me personally, if I don't like something, I'm not gonna tell you nothing about it. If there's something that makes me feel so strongly that I don't want this person to win at all, I'm not gonna tell you nothing about it.
Yeah.
Why? Because that just sparks your curiosity. Now you're like, oh, why is he so why is he feeling like this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's stupid to even bring that much attention to something that you don't like. I've been that way for a very long time. If it's something that bothers me, I'm very good at ignoring things. I can ignore it because the more attention I give it, the more I'm gonna be it's like influencing myself to speak on it. And when I speak on it, that's just gonna bring other people in to, now they want to know, you know what I'm saying? Now they want to go investigate that. That's free promo. And that's stupid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You might as well go make the man some food and go feed him. you putting food on his plate anyway.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of that too has to do with the person, because moving on to Travis Scott and Astroworld, right? And the tragic events that are surrounding that incident and the lives that were lost, the people that were injured, a sad situation. But because the general public, the general fan doesn't know how festival preparations work, they don't know what goes into it. So the lack of knowledge, the lack of awareness in that particular field. So individuals are sitting around, they see what's going on, see what's happening. They don't know why it's happening. They don't know who to blame. So what starts to happen is you blame the name that's on it. You start blaming Travis Scott. Travis Scott is to blame. He should have known better. He should have did this. He should have done that. And now it feels like there is this movement to cancel him because he didn't take the proper steps to ensure safety of individuals that are at his show. Now, I will say this. Travis Scott is intentional with the type of music that he makes. Travis Scott makes that mosh pit music. He makes that rave music. He makes that music that when you hear it, it makes you want to get amped up, stampede, do all that. That's what his type of music that's the draw to Travis Scott. So you go into a Travis Scott concert, you got to know that's what this is. This is organized chaos. Like, his whole goal is to get as many people as possible to rush the stage. Like, that is the whole goal of his show. And so when that happens, now you have to think about, okay, individuals go to this show just for this feeling, for this excitement, for this rush. This is why they go to a Travis Scott show. What turns into an issue is now you have kids there, right? There's this one story I saw where the boy, the dad had him on the shoulder, and once everything started moving, the little boy got knocked off of his shoulder. The dad got knocked unconscious. That was the last time the dad ever saw his son. The boy died from getting trampled on, right? And it's like, okay, but why would you bring a kid that age, that size, that close to an event like this?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where I get the outrage. You don't know who to blame. Travis Scott is the name. But he's one man. He has a team around him. He's the creative.
Yeah.
He is the face of his brand. He's the CEO of his brand. He's the face of whatever it is he got going on. But Travis Scott only does maybe 25% of what the brand does. He shows up, performs, and that's it. Everything around.
He's at work.
Yeah,
he came to work. That's his money. He came here to do a job.
Yeah,
he's not security. He's not the security coordinator team. He's not the event coordinator.
Yeah,
he's Travis Scott, the entertainer.
Yeah. Now I will say this. Now, if you want to turn around and blame Travis Scott, the brand, like everybody involved, because they probably could have had more security, they probably could have had a better plan, I'm cool with that. And Travis Scott is a part of that. So yes, he deserves part of that blame. But I just don't feel like we should pile on top of him, make it's his fault. To me, his actions right after it showed remorse, right? He quickly apologized. He quickly offered refunds. The shows that he had right after, he was like, yo, I'm not even going to do this right now because I got to figure out my game plan. On the outside looking in, to me, that looked like somebody that felt bad about what was going on. He even had Drake make a statement. Drake didn't mention anything about the Kanye West thing. But Travis Scott made that call. Hey, this is what happened at Astroworld. If you know anything about Drake, you know how he feels about Houston. Houston is Drake's second home. Till this day, Drake has a appreciation week in Houston, literally, where it's Drake for the whole week. And that's just who he is. So Astroworld being in Houston, Astroworld is Houston. He made that call. Hey, Drake, let them know how you feel about this. To me, Travis Scott, he felt bad. He knew something bad happened, and he felt bad about it. And it's just, I don't like the piling on to him.
Well, on top of him canceling all those shows and offering refunds and his apologies, he also postponed the drop of his shoes that was about to come out, his latest Cactus Jack shoes that was supposed to come out, with an apology once again. But you know what I'm saying, his actions moving forward from that were like you said, remorseful. He obviously we all know that things like that can happen in that type of environment. But like you said, it's also the type of music he makes. The type of music he makes incites those things. We saw DMX perform in front of 250,000 white kids and nobody died. Well, we don't know, but at least not from the things that we heard about at Astroworld. But also at the same time,
That's a good point.
But also remember, the DMX made a different type of music. His music was hype, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, it didn't incite a riot. It might have incited like emotions. Yo, I feel him. He talking to me, but it didn't make you, yo, let's go tear something up.
Yeah. Let's rush the stage and all of that. And you know what I'm saying? Forget whoever's in front of us. We just gonna push through and keep rushing the stage. But we also have to understand that with those concert goers, those types of people, there's certain things that are involved in their lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And then, we got a lot of people in those crowds are on drugs. A lot of people in those crowds are on drugs. And there's a lot of people in those crowds that got drugs from people there. So ain't no telling what was going on in that crowd. I done heard all types of stories. I done heard stories about people poking people with needles in the crowd, like just random weird stuff.
I heard that. I heard they said it was like somebody going around poking people with drugs and needles.
Poking people with drugs and needles. Then we got people who willingly take drugs, and then if you willingly taking some type of drug and you're not properly hydrated, then you out there dying anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different things that could have been happening that at this point it's kind of like you can't blame Travis Scott, the person. Like you said, maybe the brand, maybe the overall entity that, everything involved in who Travis Scott is, you know what I'm saying? But the person to just be like, oh, nah, he's responsible for this. Nah, that's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Man, condolences, all of that to everybody that was there, a part of that. That was a huge, major event, huge, major incident that happened. A lot of lives were lost, a lot of young lives were lost. Just one of those things, man, where it just reminds you to be aware of your surroundings. This is why I don't go everywhere. Like even the type of festivals, man. A couple years ago, we was there, Rolling Loud, doing all that. You know what I'm saying? But it just feels like over time, the hype, the antics, the want to be seen and heard, all that, it amps everybody and everything up. and it makes it unsafe, man. So hope everybody that was injured there, that that's in the hospital recovering, they get well soon, and just everybody stay safe. Cause you just it's hip hop, man. Another person that they've been trying to cancel, just recently. Speaking of cancel culture and things like that, now we have the incident with Dababy and Dani Leigh, and and them trying to cancel Dababy.
This one might get me canceled. This one might get me canceled.
Okay, before we even get into it, we men, so we see things from a men's point of view.
Exactly.
We both have wives, so we do take that into consideration. And we both have had conversations with women and people of different sex and try to get their opinion on this. So, it's just one of those things where it's from our point of view. You know what I'm saying? First of all, how did you feel about how should we start this? How do you feel about him videotaping and going on live?
That's the problem. That's the only thing that I feel was wrong. But I feel that's just as wrong as disciplining a child and putting it online. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the same. That's just as bad as you making your child hold 3 textbooks in their hand for a certain amount of time. You know,
stand up here and hold this.
Yeah, and recording it, or like when dudes, like, there was that period where people were giving their kids messed up haircuts and sending them to school with messed up haircuts as discipline. But recording it and putting it online is the problem. Now, I don't have a problem with him calling the cops and getting her put out of his home. That's not. I don't have a problem with that. A lot of people are like, oh well, he didn't just put her out of his home. The baby, what about the child? He in his next Instagram post, he said, you know what I'm saying, you make this bed, you gotta lay in it. I love my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's his thing. His love for his kids. Like he
kept saying, I'm a stand-up dude. I'm here for my kids.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, he felt like what's her name? Dani Leigh. Dani Leigh. She was using that kid as like to promote her brand, or to, to increase her following or something, like, so this baby from him made her a celebrity. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he doesn't want anything. No. Well, most men who, knowingly created a child and are raising a child don't want anything bad to happen to the child. And I'm sure he's going to do whatever he can to protect that child. But if he felt like she violated to the point where she had to get out of his house, just imagine if it wasn't live and she attacked him. Because you see at that one point when he was like, she's not his real girl.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? And then she ran up on him.
Yeah.
But he was on live. So she just kind of walked away. Now, if there was no camera involved, how do we know that would have turned out the same way? So it's a slippery slope, but at the same time, I don't feel like he did anything so wrong that he should, like, people should be like, oh yeah, he's a bad person. You know what I'm saying? He should not. But he is who he is also. You know what I'm saying? He is who he is.
Your track record speaks for itself.
Yeah. And she knew who he was
before. Yeah. I feel like we got to stop expecting people to do things that we ourselves don't do.
Mm-hmm.
We live in the social media generation. These kids today, there is a generation of kids that only know social media, right? So we're getting into that time of life where it's just a generation of kids that don't know life prior to social media, right? And what comes with that is these kids have developed, grown, lived everything on the internet, right? There was a time a couple years ago where I remember people would take phones and record themselves crying or record themselves doing good deeds. And a lot of people have problems with that. Like, I always had a problem with individual recording themselves crying because in my mind, I'm like, yo, you're that emotional. It's bothering you that much. How do you have enough awareness to grab your phone, unlock it, go to the camera, go to Facebook, go to IG, open the IG live, tap on the start live, watch the countdown, look at it, look at your camera, adjust the lighting and all that, just to make yourself cry in front of the camera. Like, to me, it was just like, yo, it's not genuine. But as time goes on, life happens. You start to see the landscape what's going around. You start to see how everything is moving to the web, the internet. Everything is moving towards that way. And you can't think just for yourself. I see what's going on. I see it. These is how these kids cope now. This is how they cope. Everything is on the internet now. We created the internet. We created social media. We gave it to them. So now that we did this, and everything about them is on this social media, everything about them is on the internet, we have to accept what comes with it. So we got to accept them crying on their cell phone. We got to accept them recording them doing good deeds, right? Here comes Dababy. We already know, as a black man, when it comes to women, you are automatically at a disadvantage.
Facts.
Soon as she calls the police, you in trouble. It don't matter if you did nothing or not. They get to the house, they realize she called because of you, they taking you down.
Even if it's your house.
Even if it's your house. They will not leave and keep y'all together. They will separate the two of you.
They're gonna tell you to go.
And and she ain't gonna be right.
Oh, she has nowhere to go, so you gotta leave.
So you have to go. Add to the fact that now she has a baby. So they really ain't gonna make her go nowhere. Right? And so as the baby, as the breadwinner, as somebody that is the CEO, like we talked about Travis Scott, the face of your brand, the CEO, you the money man, you the reason why all this is ticking right now. So in your mind, all this is going on, and now this incident is about to happen. So you pull out your phone and you start recording. Now, my issue is here. Do you just record or do you go on live? And with that right there, that might have a lot to do with my prior thinking of how do you cry inside of a cell phone? Yeah. Right? Because if Dababy would have simply just recorded it and not gone on live, right? And then the next day, Dani Leigh came out and jumped on IG and said, yo, Dababy kicked me out, put his hands on me, whatever she said, and he just recorded it and didn't go on IG live, he would be crucified until his day in court, just like Tory Lanez. And we're going to get into that in a second. But he goes on live and we see everything happening from a certain point. We can't say the start because we see him at a certain point. We don't know what happened prior to that until it ended. And we see a good 15 minutes of what's going on. And from there, we have to decipher, okay, what's happening, what's going on. But in my mind, I'm like, if he's recording it, if he's on live, it might be something to him saying he's protecting himself.
Yeah. And I feel like that is the reason for it, for his own protection. You, I'm not saying that this person is that way because I wouldn't put that on anybody. But there's people, especially of the lighter skin variety, who will go and scratch and beat themselves up and blame it on another person. And I saw one person who's talking about how trash of a person Dababy is because of that the drama happening around the baby, the child.
Yeah.
But my thinking is, you just supposed to live with it. Like, if it's the other way around, we tell women all the time, having a child is not a good enough reason to stay in a toxic situation. But it's okay for him to do so because he's the baby.
Mm-hmm. I think it was real telling, and I don't know what to make of this, but I think it was something that the fact that he had his assistant sitting there with him, and she's a female, she's a woman,
mm-hmm.
and she was co-signing everything that he was saying.
That was my next point.
She was sitting right there, right in the camera view, and he kept showing her, and he was asking her questions, and she was answering them.
Call them people.
Yeah, and even when Dani Leigh came out from the back and she was, doing her thing, she was standing right there, and just pretty much now, on the playing devil's advocate, this the dude that's paying you. So what you gonna say? But you a black woman, so if the situation is as toxic and as bad as Dani Leigh is saying, at some point as a woman, you gotta stand your ground and say, "Hey, he might not be this monster, but he got some stuff that he need to work out."
Mm-hmm.
Instead, she was like, "Nah, this was established. You never said he was your girl, and the fact that she was that calm, she didn't get hyped up. It kind of felt like they seen this before, type of thing.
Yeah,
because even when they showed his brother was standing in the corner with the phone out.
It kind of seemed like you said, it seemed like they'd been here before, and he already knew. Like, here we go. Y'all ready? Because this is what we talked about. Like, you know what I'm saying? We already talked about this. I told you. As soon as this happened,
this was going down.
This is the last straw. I'm done with it.
And even he mentioned, man, like, we just glossed over the fact that he started telling us a story about how her family didn't appreciate what was going on because he's a dark-skinned dude. And because the baby was going to be dark like him, they didn't want nothing to do with him. They was making it hard for him. He even said, he said during his thing, IG Live, I'm not standing around for this. He told his sister, call the jet. I'm getting up out of here tomorrow. I'll wait till the baby's born and come back. Like, it was a lot in that live that was happening. Now, women having babies is an emotional time. They're emotional. A lot of hormones are going on. A lot of changes are happening. A lot is going on at one time.
Mm-hmm.
The baby has multiple children. He knows the process. This is Dani Leigh's first child. It could be something going on in her that she has no idea why it's happening.
Yeah.
It's just the nature that's going on. She can't control it. It's happening. Where I think baby could have done better, should have done better, was the way he spoke to her. Because it to me, it felt like it got to a point where he knew whatever he was saying was going to egg her on. He didn't have to mention their relationship status. He didn't have to put that out there that, you're not my girl, you my side, especially 3 months from having a baby.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because then she turned right around and she made an IG post, and her IG post was, "So I'm your side," and she reeled off about 10 minutes of footage of him doing whatever with her, and she was like, "Yo, I don't like a side chick. I don't too much like a side chick here," and it was true. You know, he was cuddled up with her on her birthdays. They was chilling. They was kicking it. It was one video where he told her he loved her. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now, Baby is a dude with money. And he acted like a dude with money. I'm going to tell you anything I need to tell you. You a fly chick. I'm a fly dude. You on your come up. I'm here. I got money. We both successful. Let's just make this happen. You know, the foundation of that probably wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? But there's blame enough to go around for everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think the
but
baby.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't think the baby should be canceled though.
No, and even if that were the intent, well, first of all, I don't know. He's pissed off enough communities to, you know.
He literally just, bro. He literally just jumped off of that, dog.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it may be possible at this point, but we also got to remember that he's only like, what, 24 years old?
He's a young boy.
Like that. You know what I'm saying?
He don't do it.
We got to understand that in 5 years, he's going to be a completely different person. But also, he's kind of beat. He feels like he's beat cancel culture one time. He's already done it.
Yeah, twice.
So First of all, he's been getting canceled for like 3 years. Honestly, if we're being honest, but he feels like, you know, he feels untouchable at this point, and so it's tough. It's tough because I don't agree with everything he did. I do agree with him protecting himself. But also, like you said, the language, the speech probably went too far. I mean, if he didn't say so much and he just said, "All right, y'all got to get out," then it would be totally different.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that should have been his angle. Just, y'all get out. I said it once. Camera rolling.
Yeah, he probably took it a couple of steps too far, but like we said, she knew who he was when she found him.
Yeah,
and then she even had a run where she was trolling his exes or his other baby mama or something like that.
That gets ignored too.
Yeah, and so, you know,
and what she was trolling them about, the color of their skin.
So, you know, here we are. And also, did you see that her brother came out talking about he want to fight?
That was another thing that just had me like, okay, like that was lame for him to even do that. You had to, like, come on, dog. You in bad shape already.
That was his moment, though. That was his moment. And that boy's reaching for his moment.
Yeah, you're right. No, and that's what it felt like, you know. Because I think he said, like, at the beginning of his statement, like, "Yo, this ain't even about my sister no more." It's like, so then what you talking about then?
It's about my family.
Yeah, it's like, what you talking about then? Like, what you doing? But
sit down so legit.
Man, please, man. But, you know,
and then he called him an internet gangster on the internet. Now, for you to say that you're gonna beat somebody up and then say something like, "We're gonna see what you really about, internet gangster."
And then you on the internet?
Yeah, you're on the internet, right?
Man, I don't know. I do feel I do have a lot of sympathy for Dani Leigh for the simple fact that she just had a baby. That's a lot going on, a lot of changes. And there's just no telling, you know, we don't know. We on the outside looking in. So ain't no telling what happened the day before. Yeah. Ain't no telling what happened, you know. We only getting bits and pieces of the story of what's going on.
Right.
Just lucky.
That's one thing that I really hate about the whole this whole internet culture thing is that we don't know what's happening. All you get is what you can, what they give you, and
That's true.
if you're gonna take that and run with it without knowing the situation, even though people who have so much to say about it have been in the same situation and they know how these things go, both sides. I've been in those situations, and so knowing that, it's like it could have easily gone a totally different way. You know what I'm saying? And he just be locked up, and then everybody be canceling because, oh, how could you do that to her?
Yeah. And then we be sitting around here talking about, yo, why didn't you record? You got a cell phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you be on live for everything else. Why you wasn't on live for that?
Yeah.
Since she hit you first.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly how, it's literally a lose-lose situation for him. Like you mentioned, he literally just got off of the LBGTQ cancel train. He literally just got off of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, on to the next incident. At some point, the baby has to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because eventually it's going to get to a point where it's like, okay, every incident is not your fault. Like, you seem to be in a lot of situations that are escalated, and then once it comes down, it's like, all right, well, I ain't to blame. But then it's like, why do you keep getting in these situations, right? You have all these baby mamas, but you went and had another baby with another woman. So now you put her in a situation where she feels a certain type of way. And so she just had a baby. She's emotional. She feels some type of way. She know you got other women. Yo, volcano explodes. And now here we are. He's not without blame. He's not without fault for even creating this environment.
Right. Correct.
So he has to take that. He has to take that responsibility. He has to, he has to fall on that and take whatever comes with that. But I'm just not with the whole jump into, because we literally just went through this. Moving to Tory Lanez, we literally just went through this where it was like the news came out, like you said, we got bits and pieces of it over a couple months of time. We didn't know the whole story. We still don't know the whole story. But because we live in such a reactionary age, you have to pick a side.
Mm-hmm.
And so because we don't know what's going on, cancel Tory until we figure out what's going on. And it's like, how do you even get to that point? How do you even get to there where your mind is telling you, you'll cancel him until we figure this out? Like, huh? Because now you go turn around and once everything starts coming out, now you're looking crazy. Because now you're like, I didn't know. I should have waited. It's like, now you backtracking. And it's like,
and you can't really backtrack on the internet. The internet don't forget.
You can't. Once it's on there, that's it. That's it. And it's a lot of people that it feels like, to me, once this court date and everything is over, it's going to be looking crazy because he is not. It didn't happen the way everybody thought it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel culture. It's just a weird thing, but I am happy to see Tory Lanez just pushing through it. I'm happy to see him get to a point now where he stopped going back and forth with Meg on the internet, because I think that was hurting him by him reacting to whatever she had going on. He finally laid low for a minute, took some time to be quiet, let the court do its thing. Get back to your music. Let the music speak for itself. Let the courts do its thing. End of the day, when all the chips fall and your name is clear, you're gonna be all right. Even on Twitter the other night, I jumped on and I saw he was trending, and it was because everybody was praising him because of the rollout for the album he got coming. Mm-hmm. They were like, there's rollout for the Alone at the Prom. That it's nostalgic. He's creative. He's smart. His music is undeniable. Like, cancel culture can't cancel him. This is what I'm seeing on the internet about Tory Lanez now, when just 3-4 months ago it was, if you on Tory Lanez's side, you a deadbeat. Forget you and forget him. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like, wait, nah, Tory Lanez is very talented. Let's listen to his new album that's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just
like I said, I think that's the biggest thing. Just pushing through and just, figuring out that at some point that's not helping your situation. Entertaining every little thing about it isn't helping you. What's gonna help you is just continue to move forward and make your money. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I agree, man. Man, speaking of moving forward and new money, is there any new music that you are
Speaking of new music, Dababy dropped the EP last week.
Yes.
Pretty solid EP. He got Kodak on there. He got 21 on there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty solid EP.
Yep. Back on my baby Jesus.
Yeah. Other than that, new music. I like the what is the Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak?
Silk Sonic.
Yeah, I like
An
that
Evening
project.
with Silk Sonic.
Yeah,
dope album. Dope album.
That was dope. I think we mentioned it on the last episode. Summer Walker project. I still don't think I finished that project. It was weird. It was.
It ain't for us, man. It's not for us.
Yeah, and
we just gotta listen to it one time, get through it one time, and that's it.
Got to because I gotta see where she at, what she on.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was hearing. Like I expected redemption, bounce back summer. I didn't expect. Adele Walker. I wanted Summer Walker.
Adele Walker.
Whatever. It is what it is. That's what we got.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna have to live with Sierra's prayer for the rest of the summer.
Oh God.
For the rest of the winter. That's what we got to listen to.
Goodness.
So sorry Mariah Carey, but
Mariah gonna get hers in now. You ain't gonna start that train. that is on the way. That is coming. That is not gonna be late.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shoot, I just saw the other day Mariah Carey. Everybody was jumping out the window with these little meal deals and stuff like that. Mariah Carey said, "Hold my beer. I got a whole menu."
She got the whole menu.
Shoot, bro. That first note drop, you know what time it is. Them royalty checks is coming in. Shoot, man.
But yeah, as far as new music, that's pretty much all I got. All up there,
Yeah. Man, like we mentioned, Tory Lanez Alone at the Prom. That's coming out December 19th, I think it is. It's coming out. Dababy, like you mentioned, back on my baby Jesus, Beep, that just dropped. That was super, super dope. Also too, what just dropped, the Donda Deluxe album just dropped with the Life of the Party remix with the 3 Stacks verse on it, with the verse of the year on it. So that just dropped, and it just makes me want more 3 Stacks music. Like you said, Silk Sonic, Evening with Silk Sonic, that's a really, really dope album. Nice album to ride to with your girl.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's how I listened to it. Me and her went somewhere and just popped it in, and it was a good vibe. Dope vibe, man. Love that album for sure. Coming home to the crib, we see Ro was shooting the Hate Yourself video this past weekend.
Yeah.
So we know that boy working. He got some visuals on the way. That should be dope.
I also heard that I think I mentioned before, Don't Quit Your Daydream Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably supposed to be coming out sometime this month.
Mm-hmm.
But I also heard very, very early this morning that we'll possibly be getting Don't Quit Your Daydream 2. Don't Quit Your Daydream 2 by the end of the year. So
that's some work we expected from the home team for sure. That's a big things we expecting from that. Also, too, Data dropped Ain't No Lover Boy EP. Young boy from the crib, Young Bull, just dropped that heat. He also dropped the Aspen video at the same time, so he hit us with the double today. Dropped the album and the visual. That Young Bull is on one. So
yeah, that's Young Boy got talent, man. Like
yeah,
it's undeniable too, and he knows it.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that he knows it.
Yeah, as long as he
I
keep
don't
working.
know. Yeah, I don't.
That's gonna be my ride music for today. I'm gonna definitely dig deep into that one today. So shout out to him dropping that. I noticed that Dreesy dropped a new track. She dropped Good Day, a new Good Day track, and I listened to it. That girl, she's dope, man. Like she's not afraid to switch up her style.
Yeah.
And experiment. And that's what I appreciate about her. I appreciate that she's not afraid to jump out there and do whatever in the name of being creative. And that's dope to see, especially from a woman.
Yeah, she's definitely not afraid to experiment. My introduction to her was, the mailbox freestyles, and to just see she's expanded so much, you know what I'm saying? I've been following her for maybe 2 or 3 years now, and she's expanded so much that, you know what I'm saying, you see that she's more than just a rapper, you know what I'm saying? She's an artist. Yeah, you're right. She's an artist. She's going to give you the visual for everything, you know what I'm saying? Like even like on her TikTok video, she's a natural entertainer. Even though she does talk about being, you know what I'm saying, like she talks about being shy or, things like that, but
and her music is it's like two different personalities. Because you're right, she talks about being shy, but her music is like, yo, I'm here.
Yeah, and you can't deny it. Like there's no ignoring who Dreesy is.
Yeah.
So that's real dope. Hey, also, now that you mention it, Chameleon got a new track. Put that on. She's real dope. And she's also working on I forgot the name of the show, but I think it's gonna be on HBO. She's out of there. She's gone.
Yeah, she gone for sure.
Yeah.
Another man, shout out to all the dope women in hip hop, dog. Especially in our city.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them that's out here doing their thing, and she definitely is one of the ones.
You seen that? I think it's a soundtrack to something, some Netflix special or Netflix show. It's about to be coming out.
Nah, I didn't, but I did notice that 12 Lin also, just real quick, 12 Lin also announced that he was dropping new music this month. So I'm excited about that because the last album that he dropped was super special, super dope to roll out. Everything about it was dope. That's another creative dude, man. I can't wait to tap in with him more. But he announced that he has new music dropping this month. And also, too, November 19th, today, actually. No, I'm sorry, not today. This week, 11/19, that boy, Lil Peasy, a.k.a. Coley P, is dropping the Underground King mixtape.
Yeah.
One time for Broward County, boy. That's going to be, hey, look here, boy. That's going to be the one. That's going to be the one. That's going to be the one that's going to wrap up Broward County for the year. That's going to be the one that's going to be like, all right, this is the culmination of what's going on in the city. This is what's going on. I'm expecting big things from him with this album, though. I'm expecting a lot of movement. I'm expecting a lot of noise. Like, I feel like he got a lot of momentum behind him right now. He been low-key for a minute for a reason. And I feel like he get ready to pop out real major in a second. And I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to hear it, see what he got going on, man. when I saw the date that he announced the date and everything, I was hyped. 'Cause I was like, okay, here we go. It's on now. You know.
Yeah. One. We talk about a lot of other artists coming out of Florida, but there's a reason why he called himself Coley P the Boss. You know what I'm saying? And like the energy in his music is he's so different. He sounds different. He stands out from everybody.
Yes.
So, like you said, I'm excited for this new project, Underground King. I know it's gonna be dope. I know it.
Yeah. Underground King, man. Shout out to that boy, KP. Already. I think that was all of the new music.
Hey, before we get out of here, I just wanted to say shout out to my dog Classic. He had his mini concert for the Honesty Effect this past weekend. It was a celebration of him, celebration of his latest project.
Yeah.
What a lot of people are calling his best body of work. I'm happy for him because I see him finally getting the recognition that he deserved, that he should have been getting for a long time, being one of the dopest artists out of Broward. So you know, I was excited to see that. I sucked that I wasn't able to make it, but you know, I got a lot of footage. So I'm just happy for him at this point.
Yeah. Shout out to Classic doing his thing for sure. Keep putting your foot on these dudes' neck, my boy.
Yeah.
Keep showing them. Keep applying pressure. You know what I'm saying? Man, let me just make sure. Oh, before we even get out of here, Verzuz coming up. We got 2 major Verzuz coming up. We got my favorite hip hop group of all time, Bone Thugs and Harmony, versus 3 6 Mafia. I cannot wait for that Verzuz. I can't wait.
That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a great one.
That's gonna be a great one. I think that's gonna be one of the most slept on ones because it's I don't know why I just get a feeling like people are just not like in tune with it yet, and it might be because it's a little ways away, and that might be what it is. I think that one's in December. Yeah, because the Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills is this week. That's gonna be the one. That's gonna be that's gonna be one of the other ones where we like, hey, we gonna have to cook, get the dinner ready, invite your grandma over. Like Stephanie Mills and Shaka Khan, like that's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be special. We gonna get a history lesson in hip hop because ain't no telling how many of their tracks have been sampled. We gonna get mad. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no telling how they're gonna incorporate all that. Like I feel like it's gonna be a totally different one than the Patti LaBelle. Who did she go against? I can't remember. But the Patti LaBelle versus. I think it's gonna be a little bit different in that one because I feel like Verzuz is on a different wave right now. I feel like they figured out stride how to keep things moving. They're in a different zone right now. You got money backing, so the production's bigger, the atmosphere is bigger, everything's bigger. So it's dope to see. I speaking of Verzuz, I was watching the other day. Sean Garrett, the Pen, he was on Breakfast Club giving an interview because you know he EP'd Summer Walker's album. So he was on there talking about that, but he was talking about the Verzuz, and he was talking about how he wants to do it again. And I really do want Sean Garrett to do another one. I want Sean Garrett because that boy pen game is so strong. I don't think we really fully understand the strength of his pen game. And so I feel like Sean Garrett should get another Verzuz, especially in this new format. But he did mention something that was interesting. He was like, he had Soulja Boy a moment. Because at first he mentioned, he was like, yeah, we didn't even get paid for that. And then he thought about it, he doubled back, and he was like, but we do have ownership in it. Like, they have ownership in the sale when it sold to TikTok, to Triller. So he
Oh,
mentioned
okay.
he mentioned that he was one of the original ones that got ownership stake in the sale, so he's getting paid, that way. But versus is going to end the year really good, and then I saw that they're going to have another international versus before the year is up, because they got 3 verses. They have the Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean the Shaka Khan, Stephanie Mills is up first. Bone Thugs and Harmony, 3 6 Mafia is next, and then the last one is an international one. They didn't announce who yet.
Okay.
But I have a feeling that it's gonna be Latino music, Latin music. I have a feeling it's gonna be Latin music.
Okay.
Either that or Afro beats. But I don't know how Afro beats would do. I think Latin music has to come first before you get to the Afro beats. So to me, I feel like that's what's gonna be the next one. What they're gonna announce. So that's dope, man. Shout out to Verzuz continuing to put the culture on its back and move forward and giving us something to tune into and look forward to. Now that outside's open, it's like a whole concert thing now. They selling out arenas and stuff, so that's dope, man. Just want to make sure. Oh, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know if you want to touch on it, but Bobby Shmurda coming home and and looking a little confused. It could be a troll job. To me, I feel like he's trolling. I feel like initially I felt like Bobby Shmurda came home, didn't have a game plan, and he's just doing whatever. But the more I think about it, the more I think about how the internet is this huge troll place, the more I think about Lil Nas X and the troll job that he's doing, convincing everybody that he's whatever. Maybe Bobby Shmurda is just kind of like in that mode where he's like, yo, I just need attention. So I'm going to say whatever to get the eyes on me. And then maybe that's what he got going on.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I hope that's what it is. I hope that's what I hope he ain't come home and lose himself. That's what I hope. I hope he ain't come home and lose himself, because the music scene that he started is the hardest music scene on the East Coast. Like, he ushered in that drill music for the East Coast. He was one of the first ones, and so if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be no Pop Smoke. It wouldn't be no 5-Year Foreign. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be no Roddy Rebel. And they got that drill music up that Northeast Coast, and he's one of the faces to start that. So, and then when he came home, hip hop embraced him because he was a solid dude. He did what he had to do. He stood on his 10 toes, held it down for his homies. So when he came home, the Migos, hip hop, everybody just embraced him. Kind of felt like some people were riding the wave with him and kind of just using up his energy. But now that it's been almost a year, that the hype level has died down, it's time for, we need great music. We need content. And so I hope the music is good and he ain't trying to distract us from that by doing this.
I don't have much faith in society at this point, so I really don't have much faith in Bobby Shmurda right now.
Wow.
I mean, but he can prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not subscribing to this right now.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. It's one of those things, man. Hip hop is still evolving and moving forward, man. So
clearly.
Oh man, shout out to hip hop, man. Doing this thing once again, man. Another dope episode in the books, man. Looks like we got one for us. Looks like that's about it, my boy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you tapping in as usual. You know how we gets done.
Thank you, always.
Man, thank you everybody for tapping in with us, helping us grow, helping us move, motivating us, you know what I'm saying? Continue to like, continue to tap in with us. Subscribe if you haven't at our YouTube channel. Search Everything's Legit Podcast, the YouTube page. We drop audio on SoundCloud too. Everything's Legit Podcast on SoundCloud. Instagram, you can follow us at Everything's Legit Podcast. TikTok, you can follow us at Everything's Legit Pod. You can follow me on Instagram at B_RealWise. You can follow me on TikTok at The Rebel Wise.
You can follow me on Instagram at _King Pitt and on TikTok at King Pitt 954.
Yes, sir. Oh, and before we get out of here, one last thing. Shout out to that boy, Ebe the King, IB the King, Ib the King, however you refer to him. Just make sure you refer to him as Big Money. That boy's out here making power moves. He's out here doing what he's supposed to do. Impacting the city. Definitely putting on. This is one of his biggest weekends coming up, classic weekend coming up. And he already taking over Orlando. He already doing what he's supposed to do. Taking Broward up there with him, doing what he's supposed to do. He also, too, mentioned that November 28th, there is a comedy show that's happening in Coral Springs at the Center. DC Young Fly, Fat and Funny, That Boy Funny, Pompano Randy. So if you don't think you're going to laugh, if you don't think that's going to be a problem, hey, look, shout out to them boys for putting that together. It's supposed to be making a special appearance, Dollars and Deals. You know how that gets down, family, home team. So shout out to him for doing that, putting on for the city. A lot of stuff coming up for us. A lot of Art Basel weekend is December 2nd. Classic weekends coming up. Music festivals are coming up. New music dropping. New visuals dropping. Artists are dropping. They hungry. There's a lot going on. We tapped in. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us. And until next time, my boy.
Hey, what it is, it's the Fortune Teller Classic, and you tuned in to Everything's Legit, for that legitimate shit only.
Yep.
With my player partners, Wise and Pitt on Rebels Radio. Tap in, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, what you thought I was just sitting back not rapping, nigga? You think niggas ain't getting better? Like, what you think? I want me a meal to see just how it feel. Ain't worried about no bills, negotiating deals.
Find me some shit, I'm stunning in this bitch, everything legit.
I want me a meal to see just how it feel. Ain't worried about no bills, negotiating deals.
Find me some shit, I'm stunning in this bitch, everything legit.
Hey, I'm about biz, money where my mouth is, spliffy where my mouth is, smelling like ounces, but